Hello, team. Welcome to the weekly sales meeting. We're looking forward to a great meeting today. Thank you for joining us. We've got a lot to cover and a couple very important call to actions that everybody needs to be in tune with for Agent Connect adoption and the success of our partners in the program. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on Wednesday, November 29th. We'll be hosting our first edition of Level Up Sales Coaching Training for our real estate agent partners. This will be hosted and led by Renee Rodriguez. As all of you know, Renee's been heavily involved in coaching the coaches, developing our leaders and contributors, leading our coaching program. So we'll be extending this to our real estate agents. Now, what's the why behind this? And this is very, very important. And this is the difference between abundance mindset, scarcity mindset, which is something that is really important for us to recognize when we're doing it and understand why we're doing it, and more importantly, understand how that's disconnected from what we're doing as an organization. So, abundance mindset is, hey, we're hosting Winners Win. I'm going to Winners Win. I'm going to bring as many agents as possible because, that's what we're doing here. We're getting we're bringing our agents to help them get engaged with Agent Connect, build stronger relationships, set them up for success, and bring this value to our partners that ultimately will help drive their business and be a positive contributor to their growth in 2024. Scarcity mindset is, I'm not going to bring my realtors. All of my other LOs for my company are going to be there. I'm worried about somebody potentially talking to my agents, trying to steal my business. That's scarcity mindset. So, we got to understand where these things come from and what drives them. At the end of the day, what we're doing here at UMortgage is we're building a team and a community of people to support each other. So like when we do Winners Win, there's not going to be any, I'm going after your agent, I'm going after, somebody else's business. Like that's not what we're doing here. If that were to happen, we would address it. We'd have a conversation. We talk about it. But at the end of the day, we're not doing that. And that's not happening. So, the truth of the matter is, like for this, it's all about how can we add value to our real estate agent partners? We're Agent Connect value add. Level Up Sales Coaching, Real Estate Edition of training here by Renee. This is a value add. We know that Level Up Sales Coaching has translated into success for our loan officers. We know that our loan officers are better loan officers and producing more business as a result of it. We know that Agent Connect is massively valuable, and we want to put our customers in the hands of agents that are going to do the best job for that customer, but also are doing the best job within their business to create more customers. And because if they're growing and we're growing together, we're going to grow and we're going to add value to each other. So this is a huge value add. There's not going to be any solicitation of business. This is all about helping our partners get better and be better partners in the program. So it's a requirement to participate as an agent in order to get traffic through Agent Connect. So just understand, like, these are the requirements. You can't just do one thing and not the other thing. You got to consistently be doing it. You got to be getting better every single day. You got to be participating. You got to be engaging. And that's going to determine not only your involvement in Agent Connect, but your percentage of the traffic that comes through Agent Connect. So the people that do the most, attend the most trainings, that are the most engaged, that have the highest performance, are going to get the most activity, going to get the most leads, the most referrals. And that's the way it goes in any business. Performance is rewarded with more, in this case, Agent Connect leads and traffic. So keep that in mind. Make sure you mark your calendars. We're going to be sending it out to our agent partners that attended Winners Win and agent partners that attended the Agent Connect webinars over the last several weeks. Super important we get them on there. It will end up being a barrier to entry for agents if they don't attend these trainings. So mark your calendars. Next thing I want to talk about, the Arrive Real Estate Agent Portal. This is also a requirement for us to utilize in order to be an Agent Connect. This is a big, big deal. But beyond, zooming out a little bit, beyond Agent Connect, I'm looking at this and helping everyone understand, like, this is the most valuable thing you can do to create a relationship with your agents that is higher efficiency, higher quality, more autonomous, and puts that agent in control of their client experience. So what are we talking about? The Real Estate Agent Portal, if you're not familiar with it, this allows you to create a custom Arrive Real Estate Agent Portal. It's co-branded. That gives your agent the ability to manage their pipeline, see what referrals they are working with you that are actively in the pipeline, and the statuses. Is it approved with conditions? Is it clear to close? All those things. But on a pre-transactional basis, when we're talking about pre-approvals, it allows them to go in and update the pre-approval. You obviously set all the parameters. They can't just go in there and put any sales price or any loan amount in there. You set the parameters on what they can adjust, but it allows them, Saturday they're out showing houses to a borrower. They can go on their real estate agent portal, download, a pre-approval letter, update a pre-approval letter within the parameters that you set for them, and it gives them control and autonomy over the process. The key here, and I've heard LOs say, well, I like to be in control, blah, blah, blah. It's valuable. What we're missing out, this goes back to abundance and scarcity. Scarcity mindset says, I don't want technology replacing me. There's certain things that in life we have to understand that it's in our interest for technology to replace activities. Okay, you're not being replaced because the way that somebody does something is being replaced. Okay, the way that somebody gets a pre-approval, if it's easier for them to get the same thing by downloading it after you've already pre-approved the client, after you've already gathered the documentation and verified everything you need to verify, and that agent is downloading it because that's your partner and that's somebody you trust, like that's you're just creating a better experience. So we have to understand that if an agent gets used to using the real estate agent portal, if that's how they manage their pipeline, if that's how they track pre-approvals or access pre-approvals, and that's the way they're doing it every single time, if you drive adoption, you know what that means? That means they're only working with you, because another loan officer that doesn't offer that experience is going to be outside of their comfort zone. It's going to be something it would change their behavior. So if they adopt Arrive's real estate agent portal and that's your partner, they're not going to go to somebody else for a pre-approval because this is easier. This gives them more control, gives them more access. Ease is what matters. Efficiency is what matters. And most importantly, just like you guys want control, they want control. So just understand, like, the loan officers that have driven adoption with their real estate agent partners to the Arrive real estate agent portal get a higher percentage of the wallet share out of their realtor partners because they've adopted the technology, and now their process is aligned with our technology, and that's how they do business. So we're going to continue to push it. This is how Agent Connect leads are going to be assigned. They're going to be assigned within Arrive. They're going to be transmitted to real estate agents through the Arrive real estate agent portal. So the faster we can get adoption, the faster that you can learn the system and help your realtors get their branding in there and make it as customized to them as possible, the more of the Agent Connect leads you're going to get, the better you're going to see success, the faster we're going to contact clients, because that's how they're going to be assigned to the agents. So, get ahead of the game. We're going to continue to do trainings on this. We'll make sure we have this on the daily sales huddle at some point here in the next week or so. But it's super important. Last thing here, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. So this is important. This really comes down to process, okay? And, I've had a lot of conversations over the last week with people here and talking about process, sales process, loan process, customer experience process. The more consistent you do things, the more likely the outcomes that you want are going to happen, okay? If you do it the same way every single time, with the same tenaciousness, with the same quality, with the same predictability, you're going to get the results you want. And a lot of times right now, people get too caught up in trying to, get the trophy, try to get the top of the leaderboard, try to get, the lock-in at the end of the day, and they focus on outcomes, they don't focus on process. Process tells you you're going to take every step, one step at a time, to get the outcome that you need, to make sure you set the right expectations, make sure you prepare the file correctly, make sure you have all the right information in the file for contacts, for real estate agent, for the appraisal. Everything is dialed in, and then and when you hand it off is not a minute before or a step before it's done, because you got to get it right every time, okay? That's what we do, okay? When you focus on the leaderboard, you're trying to get it done fast. You're just trying to get it in and get it off your desk. You're trying to beat top of the leaderboard so you make sure it counts for this week. That's not conducive to success. That's not conducive to a great client experience. That's not conducive to a predictable experience for anybody, including our operations people. So when I think about this in everything we do. There's no corner cutting, guys, okay? There's no fast track to success. You have to have a process. You have to be super disciplined within your process. You can optimize it. You can make it better. You can dial it in over time. But the consistency in which you do something is going to be what drives predictable, continued success in every single market. So just follow me on this, and I want you to understand. When we talk about driving adoption to the Arrive Real Estate Agent Portal, when we talk about driving adoption to Level Up Sales Coaching, when we talk about the trainings that we're doing, all of these things are meant to help us get better, help us be more efficient, help us be more disciplined within our processes, and help us drive the outcomes that we all ultimately want, which is great work-life balance, an incredible client experience, and a growing business that is creating life-changing opportunities through homeownership for our families. So just understand, when we do it, the why always comes back to that. The why comes back to, how do we get better? How do we grow? It's not about how UMortgage does it. It's not about how those guys over there do it. It's all about us as a team. If it's not valuable to you, then it's not valuable to UMortgage. We got to do it together as a team, and that's the abundance mindset we're talking about. So I'm going to hand it off now, and I'll be back shortly.
Good morning, everybody, and my UMortgage family. Kristopher Natschke coming from Michigan. Thank you once again for having me on one of our sales calls. I hope everybody is still feeling that momentum and that energy from our Winners Win event, which was just 2 weeks ago this week. I know I certainly am. We're seeing record-breaking numbers in locks and fundings. I know personally myself, I'm going to have my largest month this year for the month of November. So great work to everybody who has really conceptualized what we've learned at Winners Win and brought that into our business. A couple things I want to remind ourselves from that event, like 3 main points that I took away from it. The first being, dominate the client experience. And when I hear that word dominate, sometimes I feel it's kind of gimmicky, but it matters. The small things matter. The way that your language is, the way you speak to yourself and your partners is so important. Dominating that client experience means being the absolute best at all aspects of the relationship, from the beginning, the middle, and the end. We saw that Domino's tracker as an example, right? Just being in front of your borrowers, being in front of your partners every day, all day, because you're showing that the dial is moving, that we're not just sitting around waiting for things to happen. We are the company. We are the ones out there making things happen, connecting to the list side, connecting to the title agencies, connecting to the insurance agents. We're the project managers of that loan. And it's easy to see everybody in UMortgage take that responsibility to the next level. So please continue to dominate that client experience. That is what's going to continue to set you apart from everybody else in the industry, because we all know and can feel that from most loan officers out there, the bar is quite low. So continue to be the very best of the client experience. The second is, don't let perfect get in the way of good. And that really hit home to me. My team will tell you a lot of the times I don't implement something right away because I need to overanalyze it, dive in deep, look at the cost, look at the ROI. And before we implement something, now somebody else already has, and now they're ahead of the pace. So don't let perfect get in the way of good. It's okay to make mistakes. In fact, we saw that your retention rate will go to 98% in the event there is an issue with the file and you properly resolve that issue. Just providing a great client experience, you have a 78% client retention rate. So we know in lending, things can go wrong and will go wrong. It's just nature of the industry. Clients aren't always forthcoming with all the information. There's title work issues. There could be title chain issues or appraisal things come up. Dominate that client experience. Own something that happens if and when it happens, and resolve that issue, and that retention continues to go up. So don't let perfect get in the way of being good or great. You will evolve. You will begin to be better and better and better by just having that repetition. And the third is, everybody has the same amount of time in the day. We all have the same 24 hours. What are you doing to capitalize on that same time that your counterparts have, or your competitors have, or even your peers have? What are you doing to get better every single day in those same 24 hours? Find a way to be great at managing your time. Andrew Katie talked about having a very solid morning routine to set yourself up for success. And I know certainly I brought that home. Loved his speech regarding his mother and what happened and how he sets that routine and lives by that every single day. It's structure. Millionaires, billionaires all live by structure. You have to do it at a micro level to get to those stages. So please, those 3 things, please remember as we move into the new year, as we move into Q4 and Q1, we see rates going to decline. Now is your time to capitalize. Dominate the client experience. Don't let perfect get in the way of being great, and make sure you take advantage of those same 24 hours and excel at that, because that's the same time everybody else has. Thank you guys for having me on the sales call, and have a wonderful afternoon.
Hi, everybody. We are here to talk to you today about your main job as a loan officer. And that's to bring in the leads, man. You're supposed to make it rain leads. But what you do with those leads when they come in is going to determine if you keep that faucet on full blast of leads coming in or if it becomes a drip. Speed to lead. Like everything has to be extremely fast, right? Like how fast we get in contact with the buyers, how fast we get them pre-approved. You have to track it. You have to make sure you're converting. You have to make sure that the buyer's experience is great. The realtor's experience is great. Your communication, because remember, we're getting a lot more leads than we do contracts. So your realtors are working a lot with you on these leads, just here and there on the contracts, right? So we want to make sure that upfront process is dialed in. I like to start with the group text, right? I love the group text because I get in contact with the buyers like a 99% rate, and it goes quickly. If for some reason my real estate agent, all they want to do is say, oh, I'm having Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so reach out to you, that tells me that I need to build more trust with them because they're probably referring more than one lender if that's how they're doing it. So we want to build that trust and try to get them to just refer us on the group text or an email if you prefer. And I don't just say, hey, here's my online application, go fill it out. Now I do give it to them. I say, hey, if you want to fill out the online application, you want to start there, great. I'd love to have a 15-minute chat with you before you do that. And when I get them on the phone for that 15-minute chat, I'm keeping it brief. I'm just going over a few basic things. I'm going over the triangle of trust, making sure that they trust me and they trust the real estate agent. We're not getting into rates or anything like that. And at the end, hey, follow me on social media. We put a lot of content out that helps buyers. It's like home buying tips. So if you want to follow me on social media, now you have another person following you on social media. It's like a CRM. Once we actually get them to fill out that online application, remember, we want to pre-approve them as fast as humanly possible. And you definitely do not want the real estate agent wondering. If the real estate agent is ever sitting wondering, that's a bad thing. So you get the lead, and if 5 days goes by before they're pre-approved and you have not reached out to the realtor to update them, absolutely terrible. Like absolutely terrible. You have to update them. I'll update them daily and let them know what's going on and why they're not pre-approved yet. Because you want to pre-approve in 24 to 48 hours if possible. If it's any longer than that, I'm reaching out to the real estate agent, letting them know why. Because I want to let them know where they stand. Like, oh, the buyer looks good, or oh, this one looks tough. At least give them a little inkling of what's going on there. So just definitely make sure that you're doing all those things. And once they fill out that online application, we want that face-to-face, man. We got to have a face-to-face connection with them. That's where we're going to create the connection. That's where we're going to do a professional mortgage consultation because we are the pros. That's how we differentiate from the loan officers who just send a pre-approval and say, hey, go get me a contract, right? We're going to get that connection. We're going to extract any fears that they have. We're going to go over the benefits of buying. We're creating a confident buyer. A confident buyer in this market, that's who's going to make offers. A buyer who's uncertain, they're probably not going to make offers in this market. That's going to help you to get your realtors to refer you all their business. Because if you're doing all these things and creating such a great experience, what's going to happen is over time, your realtor is going to be like, why am I referring anybody but Ian? Like, I should just send all my buyers to Ian. Like they all love him, like that's what you want. And I'm telling you, you can do it. As long as you follow the right steps and you have the right process in place, you can get there. And then once they're pre-approved and they're out, shopping, we're not forgetting about them. We did all the hard work. The last thing we're going to do is just be like, yeah, go shop and like hope that they come back to us. We're going to reach out to them every single week. Once a week, you're going to reach out at the bare minimum, a text message. And when we touch the lead, we touch the partner because we want to remember to remind the realtor like, hey, first of all, it's a reason to reach out to your real estate agent, but also like, hey, I'm reaching out to your buyers once a week to make sure that they're still happy, that they don't have any questions. Remember, we're the pros. Like we want to differentiate ourselves from just like the average loan officer who just sends a pre-approval and disappears. So just make sure once a week. And listen, I challenge you guys, if your process is not dialed in on that front end, like, do you really deserve the business? So like, look at your process and make sure you deserve the business. And if it's not, let's change it. You guys want to call me, check on the sales huddle. There's a ton of people that can go over detailed, like what their process is to make sure that they can identify what you guys might be missing.
Social media is one of the best ways to find your ideal client, your ideal referral partner, and for you to advertise your business. Here's how we can get started. First and foremost, let's optimize your bio. When people pull up your page, they need to know what you're about. They would need to know what you do for a living. They need to know what kind of value you're going to bring to their lives. So make sure that you got your bio optimized so that they also know how to come into contact with you. You need to have like an email or a website or a phone number there so that people know what you're about, what value you're going to add to their life, and how they can get in contact with you. Secondly, let's identify your target audience. So let's talk about who you want to talk to. Do you want to talk to home buyers? Do you want to talk to referral partners? Do you want to talk to both? Do you want to talk to CPAs? Do you want to talk to realtors? And then you can take the people that you want to talk to using social media and you can cater that message based on who you are talking to. If you have a geographic location that you're confined to, let's say that you're only licensed in one state, you can make lifestyle videos or lifestyle posts about being in that state. Thirdly, let's really get inside the heads of our target audience, our target clientele, our target referral partner, and let's start making content around what they need to know. What they need to know about the mortgage process, what they need to know about the home buying process, what they need to know about working with you. And lastly, this is the hard part, what they need to know about you. This is the part that is what leads to really long-lasting relationships, whether that be with a client, with a repeat client, or with referral partners. It's your ability to share stories about your life, your wins, your losses, your interests, what makes you tick. Your ability to be your genuine, authentic self on social media ultimately is what will lead to your success. Now, if you buy into the fact that you have to show up as your true authentic self, the next thing is to be really consistent. So that means knowing what to post. So again, keep in mind that you need to go back and you need to think about your target audience, your target clientele, your referral partners, or whoever it is that you're talking to, and cater that message to them. But your ability to empathize with them and get inside their head and give them valuable information or entertain them, that ultimately is what's going to lead to your success if you can consistently do that on a regular basis. So come up with some kind of cadence that you can comfortably start posting on. That might be once a day for now. It could be one video a week. It could be 2 videos a week. It could be 2 videos and 2 pictures. It could be 2 videos and 2 written forms. Whatever it is, so that you can consistently show up, that is ultimately what will lead to your success. And if you're unsure of where to post, a great place to start is to start in UMortgage's content calendar, where they give you ideas daily.
Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. I'm Corie Meredith, VP of Marketing, and it's been a minute since I've been on one of these sales meetings, but I'm super excited to be back. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about Agent Connect. It's probably one of the things that's top of mind. You've been hearing about it, you've been seeing it, but where are we and what can you expect next? Yesterday, Sean and I talked about where we are in terms of timeline, what the workflow is, and then just some expectations that you guys can have as you move forward and you continue to talk to agents about Agent Connect and get them in our funnel. So I definitely encourage you to watch yesterday's sales huddle if you didn't get a chance to do so already. But I'm here today to give you a Cliff Notes version of all that we covered yesterday. So first off, we are still in process. We are working our way towards newer live leads that we can give to you and then that you can pass off to your agent partners as part of Agent Connect. And with this, we are also asking for some patience. As all of this happens, we are really working hard behind the scenes to make sure that we are communicating effectively, making sure the systems are set up and that we're dialed in on our processes so that when we're able to hand these off to you, they are true buyers that are referrals to your agent partners so that you can continue to give them value as part of this program. We want to make sure that what we're doing with the current buyers that we have, the pilot program, is that we are still following up. It's very important that we can put our money where our mouth is. We need to make sure that we are staying on top of connecting with these buyers, making sure that we are supporting them in their home buying journey, and also handing those off to real estate agents. So the metrics do not lie here. I have to ask you, if you are part of the pilot program, continue doing your thing. You're knocking it out of the park, but we have to make sure we are making those contacts. We have to make sure we're picking up the phone and dialing those buyers, and that we are sending them off to our agent partners to continue showing the success of what we can do in our local markets. Speaking of local, that's key to this workflow. We are starting with local. We want you to be local to your buyer. We want your agent to be local to your buyer as well. So we're asking you to start pitching the program to those local agents. Use this as an opportunity to connect with new agents in your local market. If you have noticed an agent from afar, or if you have been wanting to work with a specific agent, use this as an opportunity to open that door, to create that conversation, and then invite them to our webinars. We host a webinar every Wednesday, so it will be one later today at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Sean Grapevine hosts these webinars to give agents an overview of what Agent Connect is, give them a look into how the program works, how they can become qualified and work with you to become qualified agents. After that webinar, they'll get an email that encourages them to schedule a one-on-one with you. This is your opportunity to truly validate that agent partner. We want to lean in on relationships, not transactions here. And what I mean by that is encourage that agent to work with you, to create a true partnership with that agent. And so you can use this conversation as a vetting experience to say, are you really all in on this program? Are you really all in on this partnership? Because we're not in the transactional business. We don't want them to come in through our funnel and say, hey, I just want leads. That's not the goal here. The goal is to develop strong, long-lasting relationships with these partners that make us have true partnerships with these agents. And so after that call, if you feel like, that agent is in it, they're in it to win it, and you want them to be part of the program, you can send them the agent commitment form. The agent commitment form was released at Winners Win. And so we want to make sure that, we have agents in here that are of that caliber. These agents flew in from all over the country to be at Winners Win. And what a lovely time that was. So much fun. I'm still living off the hype of it. But we want to hold that same standard. So we want to make sure that agents are bought into that program. This will give them access to Level Up Sales Coaching with Renee, which is going to happen on November 29th. And so we want to make sure that those agents are in it. They're in it to win it. And they're all in on you and all in on Agent Connect. If you have any questions about Agent Connect, I definitely encourage you to enter the Agent Connect pilot group within Workplace. You can feel free to reach out to Sean and myself. We can help you. But the goal here is we want to think of this long term. We want to think of this as true partnerships. Work with people that you like, know, and trust. Work with people that you see a future with. Work with people that you enjoy working with. And use this program as an avenue to open conversations, to start conversations with people that you want to get to know and want to work with, and make sure that they want to work with you too, and that this isn't just a lead funnel for them, but also a true partnership. So there's a lot of exciting things happening with Agent Connect, and there's a lot of more exciting things happening with Agent Connect behind the scenes that we're super excited to share with you in due time. However, we appreciate your patience and know that they are coming. They're super exciting. And for the next step, encourage your agents to attend the webinar if they haven't already on Wednesdays, and then we'll see them at Level Up Sales Coaching for real estate agents on November 29th with Renee. We're looking forward to it. Have a great rest of your day. And remember, relationships, not transactions, are always going to put you ahead of the competition. So keep delivering on those relationships.
Thank you very, very much, Corie. I appreciate it. Great lineup today. So a couple things I want to hit on before we wrap up. Next Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, Pat and Gade, Jay Bunty are going to be hosting a webinar that we're doing for our real estate agent partners. This is not connected to Agent Connect. This is just our weekly training that we do for all of our real estate agent partners. It's a huge value add. Over 20% of our volume at UMortgage today is going our VA loans. And what we've learned, and what all of you already know, is there's a lot of misconceptions around this loan product and just, the borrowers as a whole, down payment, credit quality, all these different things. And what we're going to go through over the course of this training is really helping educate our agents on the borrower, on the product, on all of the things that might be, myths out there in the market around this, to make sure that they're best positioned to represent a pre-approved buyer's offer to a seller in a way that helps them, win that bid, win that home, and get into their home ultimately. So, Pat, number one VA loan officer in the country. It is very hard to be number one at anything. Number one loan officer at a company, number one loan officer in a state, let alone number one loan officer in the country at a product. So, for us, this is a huge value add to our real estate agents. It's education. It's helping represent, our buyers, your buyers, most effectively with those agents so they can serve them and represent them to the best of their ability. So this is a value add. Again, time, energy, support. Why are we doing it? The why is always clear to define. We want to best serve our clients. In order to best serve our clients, we want our real estate agent partners to be the most educated and trained to best serve them when they're going out and showing them homes, making offers, and presenting them to sellers. So at the end of the day, this is the value that we add. This is the way that we drive that experience. This is the way that we add value to our client. Whether the client even knows it's happening, whether the real estate agent understands the why, at the end of the day, if the experience is better and they do a better job representing them, we're all better together. So, if you're seeing the promotion, do your best to drive engagement with agents. Make sure you attend. These are two of the best in the business and great people to learn from. Last thing I want to talk about is level up sales coaching. So, we're coming up on finishing out the first semester of level up sales coaching. When we implement this, heavy lift, a lot of investment, a lot of effort went into, getting this stood up, a lot of technology efforts with our tracking software. And here we are, 3 months in, and it's very effectively making an impact on all of our loan officers. We surveyed all of the coaches, we surveyed all the LOs, and the overwhelming feedback was 99% of our LOs said it made them a better loan originator. They started tracking their activities consistently, and they weren't doing it before. They have more consistency in their sales process, and ultimately their outcomes are better. So, I talked to Twaddle, who did a great job earlier. He's like, the thing I love about level up sales coaching, as he's a coach, is it's made me a better LO. It's allowed me to have a place to, speak out loud with my students to make sure they're doing the things they need to do, but also be reflective about things I need to do better. So, this is all about getting better. This is not a magic, quick fix. This is not an overnight success, path here of like, hey, if I go once, I'm going to be better. It's just like going to the gym. You go once, you're not going to be in better shape. It's consistency, it's accountability, and it's doing it as organically to what we're doing as a company as possible. So you're best utilizing the tools, you're learning from people that have already gone through the process or the things that you've gone through, and you're getting access to the top producers that have already been where you are and are on a path to get better and help you get better. So, the success, this is just the first semester, okay? So it's helped us get better. Now we're going to make it better again. We got, I talked to Sam a little bit later on today. We talked to Tyler a lot. We're focused on how we take it to another level, help more of our loan officers get better, take some of the feedback on what we can do to make it even better, which was great. Thank you, everybody, for sharing their feedback in the surveys that we sent out on just little different ways that we can make it better. But at the end of the day, it only works if you work. It only works if you're invested. And the truth of the matter is the people that are invested, a lot of those people, you heard from Chris Natschke earlier, one of his best months ever in the mortgage industry. Twaddle last month, one of his best months in the mortgage industry. Mike Kofel, same thing, one of his best months in the mortgage industry last month. Like, why are people having their best months while the rest of the industry is having one of their worst? Because they did the work. They're engaged, they're participating, they're doing what it takes to win, and they're the ones that every week are at the top of the sales activities and level up sales coaching. So, get engaged, talk to Sam Abazari about how you can get involved in the next semester. We're going to continue to grow it, we're going to continue to make it better, and we're going to make sure that we as a team are growing in a shrinking market and we're getting better together. So have a great rest of the day. Thank you guys very much for attending, and talk to you soon.